Hi there everybody, Farmer Bob here. Great to be back guys with another video. Always nice to make these nice videos. Great man, welcome to my channel. If this is the first time, a warm welcome to you. And if you are one of the old faithful visitors, then yeah, a warm welcome to you too. And a huge thank you to all my Patreons and my supporters. I do appreciate you guys very much. Okay guys, so today we are going to have a look at the train. Everyone has been wanting to put a train onto their maps and asking me, when are you making a train video? When are you making a train video? So yes, I'm finally on the stage. We are busy making a map for a friend, and we haven't we didn't want a train on the map from the start. So, and then after a while I said, yeah, we should actually put a train onto this map. It will be awesome. So yeah, the guy the friend insisted or agreed, and here we are. We have decided to put the train onto the map, and I thought, well, that is in exactly the same time a good time to make a video on the process, as you can come along for the ride. Now this video will obviously be maybe 2, maybe 3 parts of how to install a train. So I'm going to start from scratch. For those of you who've never done a train before, maybe it will be helpful. For those of you who have done trains before and you just want to know the nitty-gritties, just wait for the next video. Or just press my video on play and let it play all the adverts. At least you helped me there. Okay guys, let's get stuck in with the job. So obviously the first thing that you need to consider when you want to put a train in is a detailed planning of it. Now this map wasn't planned for a train, so we didn't care about where the train goes, because we just thumb sucked the map, you know, so without considering a train. So after looking at various options, I can show you quickly here. Where is it? It's in here. This is what we initially looked at. There's a PDF of the map. So starting on this side, running down this fields over the road, and then going past these fields, like very tight corners and things, you have to go here. And that got me thinking, when I now physically started clearing the map, you know, I have to edit a lot of fields and make changes that doesn't need to change, you know. So I found a small little workaround for it. So it comes down here, and then it goes at a turn here, and it goes next to this road all the way around, which up to there is perfectly nice, you know. So with a little bit of thinking and planning, you can actually do a huge lot of save a lot of time, you know. So if you plan properly. So we've planned 3 stations, one there, and one there. But this station now is obviously going to just sit here. Here's a like a woodworking and whatever. So we're going to put this station to load onto the train here for this side, you know, and then one there and one there. This field is going to be sacrificed because it's a weird field. You'll see now when I get to the map. So get that out of the way, and then we jump into the map from let me just see where it is. So from here, this is basically where the train will come in. I've cleared the forest edge here, so our train will come in here, and then I'm just going to roll with it as we would run the train. So you can see my path that I've cleared for the tracks, and then we're going to go over the road here, and then just here next to this. So what we'll do is we'll build a station or a siding or something here, so you can load the train from this side, because the forest is right here, very nice and handy. And here's the 2 woodworking stuff that I told you about, so that is quite handy dandy there. And there's a huge sawmill right here, you know, so you can bring your stuff. Maybe I'll put a little road here over and in there, you know, to sort of yeah, we'll see. But that's not important now. What's important is I had to clear hours and hours of work because we didn't plan this from the start, you know. So yeah, it's sad to destroy work that you've spent, like, I mean, days and days upon working, but the end result is going to be a working train, which is going to be awesome. So here is going to be a problem here. I'm going to put 2 just the tracks over the road, and then what's going to happen here is this is a decal system. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take this one plate and make it not a decal, so make it a physical one, so I can put gravel and stuff over it, you know, and then just have our two little tracks run over. I'll try and bring the rails as far as I can away from the crossing, so there's space, because there needs to be obviously a little stop thing going. I don't know if I'm going to put, yeah, I think we'll put the crossing things in, if there are crossing things in FS25. I honestly haven't looked. And then our rail is going to run all the way nicely next to this fields. Very nice and neat. Oh, jump over the road here. Make a nice U-turn here. Well, a 90-degree bend, basically, a long bend. Come down here. And then travel all the way here next to these rocks. This is the little field I showed you. It's just a weird little looking field, if you look at that. So we're going to sacrifice this for a train station. Get rid of that. And then jump in here, come over the road once again here somewhere, and then try and we'll move this rocks here a little bit. There's some rocks and stuff, so we'll come just past them. There is enough space here, so this rocks I'll just move out of the way, and then we run straight straight all the way. I think we'll go next to the road for most of the point up to probably somewhere here. I'm going to have to reinstall my PC sometime. I don't know if it was an update that has gone in, but I think about 2 weeks ago something happened on my PC and I've got this weird lagging thing going on, you know. It's as if it's running out of resources, and I know there's not a problem on resources. So if you look at your task manager, I don't have a big PC, guys, but I mean everything is running. There's not a shortage of anything, you know. So and I'm running on SSD, so it can't be any thing slow or whatever there. Alright, so coming down there, maybe make a nice S-bend in here all over, and then I think on the map we have a station on this side again, another loading siding or something, and then it will exit there on that side next to the river. Great. And then obviously the normal workaround out the map, out there all around the mountains, under the mountains, and come back on that corner there again. So we might we might go that way around and then go in there again, but that is when we lay the spline. So for now, what we need to do now is get the surface ready for the tracks. So I don't have any tracks for FS25, and I honestly haven't had a look at tracks, so I'm going to pause and have a quick look, and then I'll come back to you, carry on with the video after I found some tracks. Well guys, as you can see, I have painstakingly dissected the maps, or the in-game maps, and created us a very, very nice Farmer Bob's Railroad Pack. So the Railroad Pack will be obviously for my Patreons. You can grab it there for free on my Patreon Patreon site, Patreon page, if you want to call it that. And for those of you who are not part of my Patreons, do consider grabbing a Patreon support, and this will be available to you as well for free. If not, I'll quickly show you how to get it. I have taken each of these out of the in-game maps. A very, very nice rail system, I must say, 10 times better than FS22 in the sense of usability from the in-game stuff. So like this is a curve, a very nice curve, which is made up out of different sections. If you look here, it is group name, there you go. So it's different sections of curves making up this huge nice long curve. So you can now extract one of these or use one of them, or you can just use the whole curve in your map. So, and I've zeroed all of it, you know, so this curve will not appear somewhere there in the distance. It will be in the center of your map, and you can control B and place this on your map and level it and turn it and whatever, you know. So very, very handy to have all of that done for you. So yeah, great. So if you haven't, if you're not interested in my Patreon, I won't feel bad, but I will definitely miss you. So do jump on there if you can. But if not, let me quickly show you how to extract it out of the in-game stuff. So what you'll first of all do is open one of the in-game maps, obviously. I'll just use map US as an example. And then let's just wait for it to open. While I'm taking a sip of cold drink. Great stuff. Okay, now it's just that long wait, you know. My system isn't that fast. So we have too much sit around. Great. There it's something's happening. When it says ready here at the bottom, you know stuff is going to happen soon. So all you do then is find yourself a piece of railroad that you want to export. Let me just see now. I think here's some here. There's it. So select a piece of railroad, for instance this little one, or the whole thingamabobajig. So grab either that or the single piece, and then file, export with files. Now I'm going to show you this tip. Create yourself a folder on the desktop, like I'm so used to doing that. You just create a folder there, name it whatever you want, rail pack. And what's nice about this, everything that you export is going to stay on the in-game. So you're only actually extracting the i3D and the shapes file, which is so lekker. It stays nice and small, you know. So this is now, you can call it now curve 36 meters, or what, type 5. So just curve 36, so you know what it is, like that. You save it, and then very important, 2 questions, yes to both, so everything stays in game. All right, shaders, textures, everything stays in game. So that you'll do with everything, and I'm going to quickly show you now. I'm not going to save. Quickly show you on my desktop. I've got now a rail pack or something. There it is, and there's the 2 things extracted. That whole curve is only 204 kilobyte, the whole thing. So if you open this now, then you come in and you have to zero what you've exported, because otherwise it will sit somewhere in the distance, and zero everything, the whole toot, you know, like that, and then save it, and then your thing is at center. So when you export it and you control B, it's nice and where it should be. Great. So that way you can do it yourself, or you can obviously go to my Patreon page and grab it there from my shop for free. Great. So back to my Farmer Bob's rail pack. Let me show you what I've got for you here. I've got tons of curves. There's 9 of them, and then some nice old stuff that I think will complement your railroad, you know, like for instance this old water tower. Nice old water tower. It's a whole place with fence, lights, everything. So very, very handy little placeable that you just drop on your map. Looks very nice. And what, there I've saved it as well. My word. This old rails places, all these that says rail place is just rail setups. So for instance, this one has got a nice long curve. If you look at it, it goes there. So you can use this long curve and a straight. Very, very nice and handy. And then you have things like rail grain elevator and rail grain flour mill. Those 2 fit together. So it is a nice dual rack, which I like. If you go around a bend or something, you have this dual rack, and you'll see this one goes into the other one. So very handy to have this 2 that goes into one another, so you can build your track according, let them just flow into one another, you know. Like here you can see that one, that bend comes in here, and that one goes into the other bend of the other one. So if I go there now, you'll see that 2, they fit nicely into one another. And then you've got the Y split. I've also exported that for you. It's like what do you call it? It's not a Y split. There is a name for it. where is it? A switch right. It's called a switch right, and I think if you flip it around, it will be a switch left. There's one. The both are here. You see, there's the one, and there's the other one. So they are there. Left radius, and this one here is right radius. So you've got both to build your whole nice track. I love it. It's so nice. Yeah, I must say I'm really impressed with the rail system that they've built in FS25 compared to the previous ones, where they don't have the sections. They have the whole track as one unit, and you can't dissect it. You know, where with this, it's sections making up the whole thing, which is very, very handy. So you can now take off what you don't need and then leave what you want, you know, that type of thing. Then what else I've got here for you is 3 bridges. Very, very handy. Have a look at these. Now, tip on these, don't scale them. Their collisions and stuff will go crazy if you scale them. It takes hours to scale it, or a very long time if you really want to scale it. But my suggestion will be rather use it as is. It's a fairly nice wide bridge, so can go over a fairly wide river. And if you don't want to, if your river isn't that big, maybe it's only a third of this, then all you do is let this part go into the ground on both sides. You know, there's no need for you to scale the bridge. But if you do want to scale it, yeah, it's a because you've got the LODs, you know, so, oh my word, you can't just scale the whole thing, because the collisions and all that kind of stuff goes wonky if you scale the main transform, you know. So yeah, rather not scale it, use it as is, and you shouldn't have any problems. So I've got that one for you. And this one, it says scaled, so Giants has scaled it, so you can know it is properly done, you know. So there it is, very, very nice and handy bridge. These are railroad bridges, so all four of them are rail bridges. I didn't bother with the road bridges because obviously this is a rail pack. So look at that nice bridge. It's like a concrete bridge. I'm having some cold drink in the background, guys. Very nice. I hope you are toasted too, and have something nice to drink while we fiddle around with these things. Then I've got 2 prop packs for you. Very handy to have. Prop packs make your railroad look nice. Now these things are just props, guys. They are not the, why is this not zeroed? I'm sure I've zeroed it. Let me zero it again. Press F. There they are. Oh, that's why they're not zeroed. Sorry guys, I'm not going to save. I've spanned them out. So all you do is obviously zero this from above, like that. Then your transform will be where you start, because when you open your editor, it always goes to the 0 position automatically. So there you go, unless you're on your map and you'll be on your last save. I think it might open you on your last save. Maybe I'm talking nonsense, but anyway. So there's some nice props, stuff that lies next to the track, some old iron, you know, on a nice little concrete thingamabob, and then some old tracks lying on top of them. That's quite a nice little prop. And then the next one is a very nice prop. It says railroad props. There you go. You'll see this one now. It is quite nice. I've taken out a lot of stuff for you. You can see automatically some signals and boxes and all kinds of stuff going over with things. Yeah, just making your railroad look nice. So look at this little signal things and lights and gooders. Not sure what they do, but yeah, they're there. Make your railroad look nice. Anyways, so that, guys, is the Farmerbob rail pack for FS25. And you can also look at stuff like I've added, I can't remember if this was a switch right radius. No, this is the other one. It's just your loose switch right radius, and I think I've got the left in here somewhere as well. But they're all in the packs anyway. Great. That then is I'll upload this to my Patreon for you guys that support me, all for free. Enjoy, just download and put into your maps. Simple and easy. All the work has been done for you, as always. Right, guys, so now that you have your tracks and everything in your map folder, so let's say the Farmer Bob track pack, so just drop it into your map folder as such. What I've done, basically what happens is this track pack of mine, you put it in your map folder into a temp directory anywhere, doesn't really matter. Let me just see if I have a temp directory. Temp directory, did I put it in here? I could have put it under temp in here. Let me just see. There's a lot of temps in here. It's not in there, and I think I dropped it in. Now where did I put it now? I'll have to search for it. Can you believe it? Track vehicle shader, so rail, it's called the rail pack. Sorry guys, it's called the rail pack, railroad props, and that is in railroad pack. There it is. Temp to delete, it's in there. I just missed it somehow. So in my temp to delete folder. So what I do is I drop a folder in my map, and all the stuff that I know I'm going to use in the map, import it, and then I'll have to delete the shapes and the i3D file. Then I can just, once I'm done with the map, delete this entire folder, you know. So it is in here. There it is. So there's the whole rail pack. Now what happens is everything that's in here in the rail pack is stuff that you import, and once you've imported, you never have to have it in your map again because it's actually in-game. So this i3D, once you import it, it gets consumed and absorbed up into your map i3D. So then this shape and this i3D becomes invalid. So then you can just delete it. That's why I leave this folder, the temp to delete, until I'm done with my entire map, and then I'll just delete the whole folder and all should be well. So how it works is basically you're in your map, and I've made a transform here for rail line. And then what I do is I just go file import a piece of that rail line, so that obviously is in this map folder, and then temp to delete, now that we know where it is, Farmer Bob rail pack, and then you just import any of the i3Ds that you want to use, Control B, and like I said, this i3Ds, they are all zeroed, so it gives you a nice easy to place, easy to use rail track. Look at this nice bend. It's almost as if it was made for this. It's a little bit sharper than this bend. But what happens is this curve now consists of a lot of segments. You see there. So you don't have to use the whole curve. You just use what you need and delete the rest, and then re-import and carry on. Because now that this curve 09 is in your map, obviously you won't need it in your map folder anymore. But if you delete some of it, like if you delete a piece of it, then obviously you'll have to re-import the entire thing, you know. But that's the point. So great. So now let us carry on. First tip of laying down your track. Now first going to get to speed up a little bit here. When you work on vehicle mods, you want your speed here at the bottom to be 1 because you don't want to zoom fast. But when you work on a map, you want it to be like 60, 80, whatever, you know, so you can zoom and move like this, you know, which is very handy. Okay, so first tip, guys, once you've got your railroad figured out where you want it, the first thing you do, don't start working terrain or whatever. Just clear the area that you plan, or make sure it is clear, and then start laying. Just drop down your track. Don't worry too much about leveling and working terrain and level terrain. Just first lay out your track, where this track needs to go. Because let me tell you why. Because these bends are much slower than you think. They're not tight bends. Any rail line is normally a long bend, you know. The reason for that in real life is your locos are normally in the front. If it's a very long train, like kilometers long, they'll put a loco in the back or two locos in the back as well to push and to pull. Because what happens is, if you've got a very long train, now imagine now if you have a loco here and it's pulling this trains all around the bend, what's going to happen is if the train is like kilometers long, it's going to want to pull this trains that way off the track. Eventually, when the loco goes around the bend, it's going to start pulling in this direction, you know, so it's going to pull from here up. And it's going to want to pull trains off the track, and that's why your tracks are long bends. You never really have short, tight bends on a rail line, except for if there's a place on a downhill where they probably, well, you can't have a downhill because the train have to come back, so then it's an uphill, you know. So it is very seldom that you get short or tight curves, you know. That's why when it's a very long train, they normally put stuff in the back as well to push. So the front pull and the back push, you know, then you don't sort of eliminate some of that problem of pulling off the track, especially when it's a heavy train, you know, heavy loads like freight or ore or something like that. But anyway, enough of that now. So it's not really relevant to our discussion or our video, but it's interesting info, you know. People don't really think of it that way. Okay, so the rail line. So what I've done here, I've just laid a piece of track here for our video's purpose so that I can start showing you guys the tips. So what you'll do first of all is lay your whole track out. Obviously mine is going to go along this road, and then here I'm still concerned about this corner here, what I'm going to do. And then it's going to go there, have a station there, and it's going to go all the way down right there to the end and out of the map. Now that is my track that I'm going to have. So, but for the sake of this video, we have this little piece here, and we are going to use that as just a training hub or a training thing to get going with the tracks. All right. So once you've got this thing, just temporarily drop them down and make sure they're close to the ground or on ground level at least, because sometimes when they're underground, it can be very, what do you call it, like, it could be very, it will look like they fit, but when you really want to fit them, then they don't fit. So have them on the ground, at least on the ground, but it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. Just like you can see, these tracks are leaning over. They are like not angled correctly, so I'll sort that out. It's not important for the first stage. And here I've got a little bit of overlap, you know, things like that. It's not really important, but as long as you have the direction and your curves in the right, how can I say, in the right, that you know that they will fit when you start fitting them. And do not, I don't think it's a good idea to scale these things, you know, because the moment you start scaling, you have a problem with the tracks that they don't fit here at the joints anymore properly, you know. So don't scale, just use them as is. These sections, you have pieces of track, like that's a thing, and then you've got on the curves, you have some curve sections too, you know, like that one there. So just duplicate and use as needed, you know, drop them down on the ground. So now that you have got that done, we are now going to start looking at the terrain, all right, and how to work the terrain. So now that I have that in there, what I'm going to do now, first of all, is going to put a texture down where I want, where the track runs. All right, so I'm going to start here in this corner here, select my rail line so I can see where it's running. So I know I must put my texture left and right of that track so that I can know where it is. And I'm going to select a ground texture that's called gravel. In the older versions of Farming Simulator, there used to be, I think it was called railroad gravel or something like that. It was a special gravel that looked like these big stones that they use on the railroad, you know. But you don't really get the gravel anymore. But anyway, we're going to use the normal gravel. There's gravel small. Maybe I'll just use the normal gravel. All right. And then what I'm going to do, this is going to resemble, you know, under every rail line, there's always gravel to sort of form the foundation of those, it's not pylons, but those things that drop over the gravel to put your rails on, to fasten the beams or whatever you call those things, the rail beams that they put on top of the gravel. So this is going to, at the end of the day, simulate that gravel. And we're going to start on the leveling just now, but I first want to just do a marking of where that gravel needs to be. So that will be my first order of business, is look at the size. Where's the size of this thing? It's 8.9. I think 8.9 should be fairly, maybe make it 8. Let's have a look at 8. How big is 8? Just enter there. There you go. So that there is 8. So if you drop that now on the center, I want to just come in close and have a look at how wide that gravel is. You see this gravel, it doesn't really look like railroad gravel. That's the only thing that bothers me, you know. Let's have a look at that other gravel small. I'll probably have to go and find something nice. To sort of resemble railroad gravel. I think I'm going to rather go for this gravel small. It looks more like crushed stone, you know, because railroad gravel is fairly coarse, like thick, like rocks almost, crushed stone, but very, very rough stuff. Okay, good. So then what we're going to do is we're going to run this this railroad gravel just like this all over the spot where we want to have our track. Now it's not 100% important to have, I'm going to go out a little bit like so, to have this like perfect, you know. It's just sort of roughly keep it in the center, or try and keep it. My hands are so crazy going up and down. Anyway, we'll try our best. And you'll see here I've got a problem here. I need to move this little house. It's in the way, but for this type of the process, I'll just move it out of the way a bit later. Doesn't really matter. But what I want to do is get this gravel down the road and sort it. So I try to keep my cursor in the center of the track so that we have enough gravel left and right of the road, you know, so of the track rather, not the road. My word, I'm so used to putting down roads and stuff. Like a train is not something that you always do, you know, so yeah, it gets done less than normal vehicles, roads and stuff. Okay, so what I think you get the idea. So here we go. There's a rock to move here. We can't build a track over the rock. So that rock will also need to move away. Good. So now let's just move this out of the way now. I'm going to put it here in the field for now, because this one needs to be built in, obviously, again to a spot. And then this little house I want to move out of the way. It's not a house, it's actually a factory, a Carpenter Cooper US. It's a, I think it's a furniture shop or something, you know, some production. I'm just going to move it out of the way for now. We'll fiddle with that later. Important now is to get our rail track sorted. Now the next thing we want to do is take our rail now and move our rail out of the way. Now that we have our texture on the ground where we want this rail to go, we will want to get this track level, exactly on the right level. So first of all, let me just go in here, close that up, come here to our rail line, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to my transform for the attributes and just make it invisible like that and that, and now the track is gone. You can't select it anymore, so it won't be in the way when we work, and it won't bother us when we look. And then I think the other thing I also want to get out of the way is my trees. So if I just select my trees here, drop the trees and make the trees invisible as well, because we've already cleared the track. That was the very first thing I did, as you remember. I cleared the track, and now I can easily, nicely work my track without anything bothering me, you know. So the next thing I want to do is work in sections, you know, from the bottom up will be all the top down. So I'm not too sure which is which here in mine. So the easiest to do is check your levels. So first of all, grab that, the terrain sculpt mode, and then go here to replace. Make sure you're on replace, and this is your replace height. So Control and R will tell you the height there. So I'm going to hit it there. So that's 19.994, and this at this corner here, Control and R, 14.99. So you can see immediately that this corner is where exit is high and this is low. So the train is going to run downhill here. So now what we want to do is build our track up a little bit above the ground level. So I think the first thing to do, so let us rather start from the top down, because that's going to be easier, because we don't know if this track is going more downhill or more uphill, you know. So let's start here, because what you want to do is you want to have a base of a few, like a half a meter or 3 feet, 3.5 feet in the US terms, but about a meter roughly of track to sort of lift the track out of the ground, just to have space for you to maneuver on the soil, you know, go up and down and whatever is needed to have your track perfectly aligned. So now we know this is 19.994. So if I go there, okay, it's 20 there, so that's good. So if we go 20.5 or 21, I just want to see how high is 21. So if we replace 21, I just want to see how high is 21. So what we're going to do is put all our things, our hardness, everything at max, just to have this thing work fast and quick. Zoom in closer like that, and now just with the right mouse button on replace, we're going to right mouse button on 21 here and see how high is 21. Alright, so that is 21. Now once that is now done, I want to zoom in close here and see how high is 21. Okay, that might be 1 meter, might be a bit rough. So let's go half a meter. So I'm going to go Control and Z just to undo that, and then we're going to go 20.5. So we want a nice thick base for this train of ours to run on, you know, to have it realistic. It's going to be a problem where you go over the roads. Now that I think of it, it's going to shoot me in the foot if it's too high. So let me make it only like 300 millimeters. So 20.3 will be probably much better, because I don't want to spend too much time fiddling around with my intersections. Because remember, there's places where your train is going to go over the road, like here. There's a road here, and I've got very little space here, so it's going to have to go up and down, you know. And these trucks, obviously, that's going to run up here, up to this forest up there. And then there's places, there's another road, and there's another road. You know, so there's going to be a lot of problems if I make it too high. Alright, so let us make it, could actually make it a little bit less, maybe even still. But let's have a look at 20.3. How much is 20.3? So let's go there. 20.3. Just want to see if that is good. Yeah, I think 20.3, guys. Let's work from 20.3 downwards to that one there. So what we want to do then now is, first of all, look at your straight things. So we've got 20.3 up here. I just want to go back there and finish off my 20.3 here. There you go. Right here up to the out. So I have a 20.3 there. And I'm going to go down to this bend here, like there, and we're going to Control R here, very important, at the same spot. So this is replaces on 15, so it's going to be 15.3. So that 300 is going to stay up, and we're going to just do a section here as well for the track. So there's our 300 above. Okay, so good. Now we have our two platforms, you can say, where you need to work your slope. So this is going to be a slope between this point and that point. So we're going to slope down from there to here, and or you're going to slope up from here to there. So that's basically how we're going to do it. So I'm going to show you how to slope properly now. something I also only learned in the past few months, you know, which is a very nice function of FS25, and it's very handy to have stuff like this to slope between things, you know. So what we're going to do first here, set slope target. So the target is where you want to go to. So let's go downhill, so from here to there. So this will be our target. So with the right mouse button, I'm going to click there, and you're going to see it's going to make a little dot there. So that's what you want to work towards. And now we're going to go here, and we're going to select slope. So what it's going to do now, the moment I click my right button, it's going to check the height here, and we're going to run now just all the way down to that side there. And don't worry too much about what it looks like, but we want to sort of end here like so. All right, and what we're going to do is just pull that down, and now we have a very nice sloping area right down from the top. We can now follow this thing. You'll see there's some cutting and there's some moving about. I think I'm going to have to I've done it a bit skew, you know, but at least it's sort of okay. What I can do here is just blend this in with the smooth tool, you know, and even on this side as well. But the main thing is we've got a very nice slope going down from up there straight down all the way to there. And now you just rinse and repeat the process. I want to just do this one over or once again. Slope. I've got the slope limit, so I'm just going to go back and see if my dot is still there. Once it there, the dot is still there, so I can redo this one. I'm going to make it a little bit like 10.4, a bit bigger. So it's going to start here again, and this time I'm going to eat a bit more away on into the mountain so that I can smooth that out nicely. It's a very nice feature, this, guys. Right, I think that is good, and I want to just do another one for this bottom edge. Like so. Good. Right. And now what I do now is just take that out of the way, and then what we do is come here. I just want to see, is my height still good? My 300 is good. That is very nice. Right. And now we just rinse and repeat. So what we do now is put us another a dot maybe somewhere there. So just do it in sections. Don't try and do the whole map, you know, at once. Go there and then go set slope limit. Just wait for it. Slope. You have to be patient with these things, guys. I'm going to go back to 8, around in the 8ish here, because I'm getting close to the road. So let's rather stick to 8, somewhere there. So I'm going to set my slope target maybe here. Let's do that section later on. I've clicked, nothing happened. Click again, there it is. Got this little pink dot. Set slope target, and then we're going to go slope. And now from this one, we want to now move to that one, you know. So all we do is rinse and repeat, and slowly but surely slope this down to where it should be. going to once again widen it a little bit. Almost like that, yeah. So I need to do some smoothing there by the looks of it. Terrain is actually very on different heights by the looks of it, but let's go closer. I'm going to just switch that off, the terrain sculpt mode, and then let's dive in and see. Ooh, I've made a mistake, guys. I've made a mistake. I forgot to put 300 above. That's why I was wondering, but gee, I'm cutting things out of here where it shouldn't be. I've actually went down from 300 above to ground level here, so that I'm going to just Control Z until I can see all the changes is gone. There it is, and then just redo. So what we need to do now, first of all, is go back here to replace, and then we're going to Control R. Just make a note of where we want, so it's in between these little bushes, so from here to there. So what I'm going to do is Control R there. I must probably just select the terrain sculpt mode again. Control R there. Once it's got it, replace, yeah. So Control R gives me 12.669. So it's 12.969. So 969 is my 300 above. Okay, so replace, enter on that, and then with my right mouse button I'm going to just make my little blob here again, so I can have my height set here. So 12.969 is my height for that. So I can zoom in. It's not really very visible, but it is now on 12.969. If I go Control R here, yes, if I go there, it's 11.9, so that is definitely above ground, which is good. So I just want to bring this in nicely so I can have only the piece I work with. Alright, so my slope is still set there, so that is good. And then I can go back to slope, and once again make sure I'm at 8, and let's try it again. Let's see how it goes. What is going on here now? I see another purple dot there. No, there's something wrong here with the slope. Let me just reset the slope, because I saw another dot here in the middle somewhere where it shouldn't be. So let me rather just reset the slope with the right mouse button. Alright, so it's a toggle. So if you click it once, it goes off. If you click it on, it takes another thing there. I just want to see if it sets the height here as well. No, it doesn't, but it does do that. So let us use that, and then now we're going to slope, and let's try it again. I'm still not 100% sure why. I think it's just the way the thing is. So from there, I just want to do that wall side a bit more, so I can smooth that out later on. Great, so that there, I just wait for it to finish. So now I want to just zoom in and see. So it is a bit lower than the terrain. How is that possible? The thing should be higher here. We should be 300 higher. That should be what the slope is. So I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. It does look level to me though, you know. It does really look level, but for some reason it does... I think it's just my terrain, guys. It's just my terrain, which is alright. And I'm definitely still 300 above here. If I look at that, I might have that 1 meter would have probably worked nicer here, you know, to get above the terrain, because I'm actually cutting out of the terrain to level, and I'm still sloping above terrain level here. So I could maybe work from here a bit more, like I'm not too sure. I'll have to play around a bit, but the idea is to have your track now run very nice and level on that gravel, you know, so when you put it down, it will be a nice and smooth surface for your track to ride on. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying, and I'll just have to do some sculpting here for my roads, and that should be fine. And now we can just do this next section, so we know it ended here between the bushes, and let us work then up to probably what I can see in the screen, maybe up to, just going to move that out of the way a bit, so from there all around to there maybe. So let's do that. Once again, there, set slope target. Oh, first of all, don't forget again, replace. So we're going to go here, Control R there. It's 10.172, so it's 10.472 is what we want there, 10.472. And remember to enter. You have to enter to sort of make it right or accept it. So now all we do now is make our little blob here. So that is our slope target. And now we set our slope target again up to there. Doop. And doop. There it is. The new one, 10.472. And now all is well as we just do the next slope up to there. Oh, sorry, I'm already sloping. Wow, I forget to put it back here to the slope function. We finished setting. All right, so from between the bushes is where we start, and now we just move around, all around, laying our track. Oh, yeah, you see what I was saying is it's going to get very, very, very scary here by the road. I'm going to have a look. So that 300 is now it's now a very big obstacle for me to drive over, but it's not a big problem, because all I can do is I can just slope this up a little bit and then down, so it's not really a problem. So I can use my same slope tool and do the following: set slope height, set slope target. So we're going to set our slope target now there, and then just slope from down here. And this time around I can I wonder if I should go square, because but this square is not going to help much, you know. It's a pity you can't rotate that square. Yeah, that would have been very helpful to be able to let's do our slope target on the left first. Slope target on the left, I'll put it here so I can do two runs, and then let's slope from down here. You know, like that. And then slope on that side, slope target there, like so, and then slope up there. And then what we can, I should actually just do it one in the middle as well, because I see now I've messed up this side again. So let's do it again. One in the middle, one big one in the middle, like so. Let's set that slope target a bit closer to the edge, rather, like there. And try it bigger. Bigger is better, they say. I'm going to go a little bit over there, because there's enough space on that side. And then I've got a huge problem here with the road. Oh my gosh. Why did it start so high? I don't know. Let me undo that one. It really messed up. So I think I started with the two biggest circle. Something of the kind. Let's just smooth that out and see how that looks. I think that should really be alright. That should really be okay. Yeah, it should really be alright. It's going to be a difficult thing for trucks to stop here, you know, coming downhill and stop here because they're going to be on the track. We'll probably put a stop sign here, you know, for the rail and a little rail post or whatever, you know. In fact, I think there is one here. I'll have to might have to move it. I can't remember where it is, but it's loaded via XML, and that's the horrible thing about this XML loading is the stuff that is not on the map. It is incredibly irritating to build maps with stuff that's not in the map, you know. It's like very annoying. Anyways, let us do it, and then we can just slope it down that way again. Slope, slope, slope. Slope target from, what I'll do is I'll put it there. Alright, and then let's slope from here then. Why is it doing it like that? That's better. It didn't take the height so nice. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it just like that. You can fiddle around a lot with it, but for the sake of the video, this should be a good enough crossing for the train to run on. And you're going to be smoothing and doing fine-tuning anyway once you've got your track down, using your replace tool. So I can, like for instance, go to replace now and set this there and control R here, where I can see I need to work this a little bit. So I can go control R here to get this height, and then just slowly Control Z, that's not the height. Where's the height here? It's on 10.78. You see, I can just slowly work this thing out a little bit. Control R there and bring it out a little bit. Good. Stuff like that. Good. So now that you have your, I think let's do one more section, because my train track is actually going a little bit up to here somewhere. So let's do this last section. So we go in there and we go to slope. First to replace here, get our track height, which is somewhere around there. I've done it here, so control R there. So it's 10.2, so it is 10.509. Like that, enter. And we make our little blob there, so that we know that's our height to slope towards. And then we're going to go here, set slope target. I'm going to click there once, click there again, and that's our target. And now go to slope and grab it from here this time, and then just run with it. Nice. Right, something like that, guys. So now that we have that, I'm going to drop down here to, no, I'm going to bring this down. We finished with the terrain. So just in your mind, sort of get the idea that your terrain is now done, or this the train base or foundation of your track is now nicely done. And as you can see, now the work actually starts, because now your track is now nicely running all along your nicely laid down gravel is the word, stone foundation for the that. I wonder, this stone of the forest actually looks quite nice, but I want to look for something nice for the track, because I'm still not happy with this fine gravel as well, but we'll just find something nice, you know, maybe on another map or things. I'll have a look around for a good proper and that was my chair, guys. It's got this annoying lever that you keep your seat upright. And when you pull that lever out, you can lean backwards, you know, when you want to sit and relax back. And sometimes this thing with the moving, it sort of goes to that little tip where it just slaps out. My word, it gives you like almost a heart attack every time. But anyway, so there you are, guys. So now we have a nice foundation for that. And I will now come back to my track. Here's my straight piece. And I will start aligning this now properly with this foundation. So I'm going to take that, just put that there, and we're going to bring this down a tiny bit. And I found with your mouse it's very difficult to get precise. I actually stopped this one very nicely, but it's easier here to look at the color. Green is up, and then just go to your movement here, green, and then just on the decimals behind the dot, or the comma or the dot, just work on those to move that up and down properly. And you can now see my angle is not correct for this, so I'm going to adjust the angle now. So the same thing with the angle. We want the red angle to go up a little bit. So this red angle, the rotate on the red, I'm going to go here to 7.2 and see if it goes up or down. So that goes down, so I'm going to go 7.1. Okay, so let's go to 6 and see where's that, and that is also not enough. 5. Alright, so 5 brings it out perfectly, and now you can see this is now very nice. And you see what I mean? Look at this now. All my gravel is now properly level, and I might be a little bit high here at the end, because remember now this swivel end of mine is off the map, so I'm might have to bring this down a little bit. Yes, it's in the air if I have a look at it, so I'm gonna have to bring down the green. So let's go to 2, let's go to 1, let's go to 0. Yeah, okay, so 22 there, and now you'll find that my tip of the track is now once again underground, so it's like a seesaw. I have to bring, but you can see it's coming out. So let's go. The proper thing will probably be to put that swivel point on the edge where I'm actually working, but because I'm working with something that I want to go off the map, I have to stick to this, you know. So once again, rotate the red, so 0.5, so let's go 0.4 and see that's too much. So all I do now is I go 0.45 and see that's too much, so 4.4, 4.3 is just out of the ground, so 4.35 we'll put it just nicely on the ground. And there now I have a straight piece of track that is perfectly aligned to the ground, and it is lying down very nicely. Now, let me just see the height. No, it's still not right. It's still in the air here. My word. One more time, guys, one more time. So I was at 22, so let me go 21.9. Let's see. Yeah, 21.9. Looks like I am on the spot there once again. I think this will be the one that does the trick for us. And here you can see I'm sort of just out of the ground. So rotate 435. Let's just make it 43. Just 43. That is perfect. All right, I think that will do the trick for us, guys. If I go back here now, yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm totally happy with that. It's nice and level. It doesn't need to be more perfect than that. And now what I can do is I kind of like this forest rock texture. Let's just have a look at the textures there. Maybe I can do a texture for this with one of the forest textures. But like I say, I want to get a nice texture for this thing. Forest stones. What is forest stones? Is it here? That is forest stones. That is quite a nice texture. But I've used that in my forest now, so I don't want to use this now on the rail track, you know. So that will be forest rock. What does forest rock look like? It unfortunately looks like gravel and moss in between, and dirt and grime and dead bugs and all kinds of stuff. So no, that won't work. Forest rock, whatever, rock floor, tiles, asphalt, dusty, sand, mountain rock. No, this is the normal rock thing, so I don't want to go with that. But I'll find a nice texture, guys. I'll fiddle around. Moss stones? Nah. Find a nice texture that does it. I really like that forest stones, gravel, dirt gravel. What is dirt gravel? I can't remember what's dirt gravel. Oh my word, no. It doesn't. It looks like dirt gravel. That's what dirt gravel is. Concrete gravel, concrete pebbles. What is that? Nah. Concrete pebbles also not going to do it for us. Concrete shattered. What's that? Oh, okay. No, but anyway, I'll find the texture. All right, guys. So basically, I think this is enough for one video. I will now do the rest of this whole track up to where I am, and then also obviously do the rest of the track up to the end of the thing. But for the video's sake, this is what you need to do to get it nicely sorted. And what I'll do now is obviously come in with my texture tool, my terrain tool, and then just smooth with very little hardness, like so. Maybe even less than that. We'll see now immediately how much it does, and then just smooth this. Yeah, no, this is nice. Just smooth this edges so it doesn't look that jagged stuff, you know. And on this side too, sort of have it nice and slopey. And you can now obviously take this nice, because I like this for the terrain around the I'm going to control R here just to grab it. It's forest stones, and then just do my terrain around the thing. Maybe control Z, that's a bit much. I'll just do the texture around the thing for the slopes where there's like a bit of a slope, you know, where there's cutting. Makes it look nice, you know. So you can now come, and then obviously you need to do clean up with your brushes and bushes and stuff. Get that out of the way, whatever is in the way. Like there's some stuff there still. Move them out of the way, make your track look really nice, you know. So that is basically what you'll come and do now, to have a track that sort of looks nice like that. It's going to look awesome if we can just find a nice texture for this, which I will do for the next video. I will show you what texture I found and where I found it. And in the next video, guys, we're going to do our train spline and start setting up our workings of our train. So that is where we're working towards, our end goal or our thing. And then obviously here where I go out, I'm going to put a tunnel, sort of tunnel out, and then the train will disappear into the tunnel and move off the map, and you won't see it again until it comes back on the other side, that type of thing, you know. So you all know that. Good. Yeah, I think this looks quite spiffy, guys, if you look at that sort of effect. And it's going to look even more nicer when we have the correct gravel, yeah, rock or stone under the yeah, one of these, a thing called stone. Let's just have a look. There is stone, not Deco Bush. Now that I quickly think of it, I think it is stone. Where is stone? But it's a single texture. Supposed to be stone in the base game. Let me just have a look. Concrete rock. Rock 01 and Rock 02. And there's forest rock. Oh, I haven't seen these. Let's have a look. What's this? No, that's not good. So let's go Rock 01 and see what's Rock 01. Oh, that's mountain rock, man. So that's one of the four, or one of the two textures of mountain rock, and those type of rocks. So it's nothing new. Now, the single textures are normally just what the combination or the combined textures, these highlighted ones or capital ones, are made of. So if you see grass dirt, you will find two grass dirts in the singles, that type of thing. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end off the video here. I think it's been a wonderful movement towards our train working, and I hope it's been insightful to you. I hope you enjoyed it with me. Thank you so much for watching, and a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. Do go onto my Patreon and grab that rail pack for free. It's all yours to enjoy. And to the rest of you, thanks so much. I really appreciate you all. Remember to like and subscribe, and do ring that little bell for me. If I make another video, you'll know about it. And then do share, please, guys. Do share my stuff. Oh, I love it. Great, man. Have a fantastic week and a wonderful weekend. Take care, man. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.